Welcome to Life Library. Here we have Hanseol Ryu from Bangkok, Patana. He's a year 12 student currently aiming for engineering in the US. Hanseol, thank you for being with us today. What universities in the US are on your list and why are you interested in attending them?
In fact, I think US universities are part of my option. My main goal is either Singapore or South Korea. But universities that I want to study in US are Vanderbilt University and potentially Carnegie Mellon, because both of them provide generous financial aid and also they have strong engineering department.
Why do you personally need an SAT score? Is there a particular university you're aiming for?
I think currently SAT score is quite vital. I mean, for me as an international student, to prove my English proficiency. Still, universities in America say that it's test optional, but for international students, I think to prove that I can study it with English, SAT is quite important.
What university are you aiming for?
Vanderbilt University in America.
And why is that?
I cannot afford all the expensive tuition fees in American colleges, so I think I've looked for the schools that give out generous amount of financial aid, and Vanderbilt was one of the options that I had. So,
what motivated you to have a high SAT score, and how do you set your target score to be?
I thought that SAT scores as an international student would be a great strength for my application. So initially I aimed for 1570 for my target SAT score, but then as I progressed, I realized that I'm not as good as what I expect myself to be. So I lowered it towards like 1520, 1510, like the lower 1500s, and then I got 1510 for my real SAT and a super score 1530.
What was your first score?
First score was 1450, yeah, and it was not my target.
And how did you progress towards getting higher?
I try to get used to the SAT styles as they get quite repetitive. I practice a lot using PPQs, and when I was done with the free past papers from the Blue Book, I bought additional ones from Princeton Review and I did those.
Which areas did you find easy?
Math, obviously, yeah.
And which ones did you struggle with?
Reading and writing, especially the inference, and some reading with long passages were quite difficult for me.
What advice do you have for our audience on those two sections of the SAT?
Try to get used to the SAT styles and memorize vocabularies. I think that's quite vital, as you have to understand what the passage means, and try to learn some shortcuts and tricks.
Even though you found math easy, what advice would you also give for that?
Obviously, practice a lot, but then try to make a cheat sheet for yourself, as like it's quite narrow, the SAT math questions, the topics they ask. So I think it will be helpful if you can make a cheat sheet for yourself.
And apart from practicing the SAT, how did you manage to prepare yourself for the actual exam? Was it stressful in any way?
It was quite stressful, in fact, because obviously I took SAT seriously, and I tried my best to not get stressed, obviously, because stress is not helpful when doing exam. In the morning of the exam, I tried to do the questions from Crack SAT. They're quite helpful, and I tried to eat sweets before the exam.
Sweets?
Yeah.
What was that?
To release my stress, like chocolates and candies.
Thank you, Hanseol, for sharing your insights and aspirations with us. Your determination and focus is truly inspiring. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you, Hanseol, for being here again. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure for me as well. Thank you.
Thank you.